तो हम हमने करके एक बार बोल देंगे. In our second unit, let us. In our first unit, we discussed the uh, logic and predicate. Okay. Now in our second unit, we have a lattice. So in this unit, we mostly uh, discuss the relation on a set. Okay. The most of terms are defined using the relation on a set. Okay. So in this unit, we have the topics are uh, different types of relation. Just a minute. So the presentation. Yes, the first topic is different type of relation. Yes, then second topic, it is a partial order set. The in a different type of relation, we discuss about the four type of relation. One is a reflexive, second symmetric, then antisymmetric, and the transitive relation. Using this four relation, we define the equivalence relation and this partial order set. The partial order set, it is also, we say the, in a short form, it is say as a poset. This, the partial order set, it is also called poset. Then we have totally order set. The total order set, it is a called poset, and it is a from poset. The in a poset we add the one more property, then it becomes the totally order set. That is a poset. Poset is also called chain. Okay. Then we have hash diagram. Hash diagram, it is a use to represent the poset as a geometrical form. Okay, we represent the poset in a geometrical form using hash diagram. Then we have a lattice. We define here in this chapter, we define the lattice using two terms. The one is we define lattice using poset, that is a partial order set, and second we define the lattice using algebraic system. So here we have the lattice as a poset, that is partial order set. Then we have some properties of the lattice. We define the algebraic system for a lattice sum, and we define the lattice using that algebraic system. Okay, so these are the topics in this chapter. Now first we take the different types of relation. Okay, so in different types of relation, we have the to define the relation, first we require two terms. One is a power set and second is a, we have, the first one is a power set and second we require the product set. Okay. So what is the power set? The power set means if we have the any set A is given, then the collection of all subset of that set A is called power set. This power set means if we have the any set A, then collection of all subset of set A, it is called power set of A. Okay, and it is denoted by P of A. This is a notation for power set. Like we have the example here. If we have the set A is a 1, 2, and 3, then what is the power set? So the power set will contain the, say when we have the any set, the phi and set itself, these two are by default the subset of that set. Okay, so the first we take the phi, then we have three elements, so we take the singleton set 1, singleton 2, singleton 3, then we take the two terms set, two term 1 and 2, then 1 and 3, then 2 and 3. Okay, and A itself. So these are the subsets of set A. So collection of these subsets, it is called power set of A. Okay, so if we have the A has, suppose A has n elements, then how many elements in a power set? Right in set box. If you have set A contain, if set A contains n elements, then how many subset of A? If the set contains n elements, then how many subsets of A? The number of subset is 2 raised to n. Okay, the number of subsets of A is a 2 raised to n. So power set contains 2 raised to n elements. Okay, then we have product set. Now product set, it is defined on a set itself and on a two set also. First we take the definition for a set itself. So if we have the set A is given, then collection of all possible pair x comma y, where x and y are elements of A, that collection is called product set on of A. It is denoted by A cross A. In symbolically, we can define the A cross A is a xy, order pair xy, such that x comma y belongs to A. Okay. Similar way, we can give the product set of two sets. The product set of two sets are given by we have the two sets A and B are there, then A cross B, it is equal to x comma y, such that x belongs to A, y belongs to B. Okay, this is definition for A cross B. Okay, now we take the one example for the product set. here the example is given. If we have the A has two elements, 1 comma 2, then A cross A has a four elements. That four order pair are 1 1, 1 2, 2 1, and 2 2. Okay, so these are the order pair in A cross A. Okay. Now we define the relation. The relation means relation on a set A means we have a subset of A cross A. If we have the set A is given, then any subset of A cross A is called relation on a set A. Okay, any subset of A cross A is called relation on a set A. Here we have the example C. Here A is a ABC. So what is the A cross A? How many elements in A cross A? How many elements in A cross A? If A has a 3 element, then A cross A has a 3 into 3, 9 elements. Okay, that 9 elements are, we have A cross A is the first A comma A, then A comma B, then A comma C, then we have B comma A, B comma B, B comma C, then C comma A, C comma B, and C comma C. The A cross A has this 9 elements. So how many subsets of A cross A? We have 2 raised to 9. That is a 2 raised to 9 means 512 subsets of A cross A. So totally we have 512 relation on A. Okay. Someone can ask that in a MCQ that if we have A contains 3 elements, then how many possible different relation on A? Then your answer is a 512 because 2 raised to 9, it is a 512. Okay, 2 raised to 9 is 512 now. Yes or no? Okay. So here totally we have 512 relations. From that we have to write just one or two relations. See, the first one is given R. R contains this 3 order pair A, AB, and BC. This 3 order pair. Okay, so this is a R is called relation on A because R is a subset of A cross A. We take 2 more example here. Okay, just before we taking the more examples, first we take this notation. See here A comma B, this belongs to R. That means we say that A is related to B. A comma B is belongs to R. That means A is related to B. It is also written as ARB. ARB means A is related to B. Okay. The meaning of ARB means A is related to B. Okay. Now here R1, R2, these two are also a subset of A cross A. So these two are relation on a set A. Okay. In R1 we have AA, BB and BC. Okay. These are the in A cross A. R2 we have AA, CB and BC. These three are also in A cross A. So these two are subset of A cross A. So these two are relation on a set A. But R3, in R3, see, we have the order pair A minus A. Okay. Then BB, it is into A cross A. Then third one is a B minus C. So B minus C and A minus A. These two order pair are not in A cross A. That means R3 is not subset of A cross A. So R3 is not a relation on a set A. Okay. So a subset of A cross A, it is called relation on a set A. Okay. Similar way, if we have this is for two uh, two set also, that set A and B is given, then the relation between A and B means a subset of A cross B. Okay, subset of A cross B. It is called relation between set A and B. Okay, subset of A cross B. It is called relation between set A and set B. Okay, but for this chapter, we require the relation on a set itself. Okay, so we discuss about the A cross A only here. Okay, next, now we take the different type of the relation. Okay, so different type of relation means the relation which are defined on a set A, if they contain some property, if they satisfy some condition, then they are we give the special name of that relation. Okay, so we have this type. We have four types of the relation. नीलेश, सभी सभी एलिमेंट नहीं आने चाहिए, सिर्फ सबसेट होना चाहिए. ए क्रॉस ए का सबसेट होना चाहिए. तो सबसेट तभी होगा कि जितने उसके एलिमेंट है वो सारे एलिमेंट ए क्रॉस ए में होने चाहिए. ओके, यहाँ पे R1 और R2 इन तीनों में जितने भी एलिमेंट्स है वो सारे ए क्रॉस ए में है. तो दिस थ्री आर सबसेट ऑफ ए क्रॉस ए. So these three are relation on A cross A. But R3, it contains some elements which are not in A cross A. So R3 is not subset of A cross A. So it is not a relation. Okay, on set A. Okay. So the first type of the relation is reflexive relation. Now reflexive relation means the reflexive relation means we have here, if we have the, suppose R is given, if R is given on a relation, R is a relation on a set A, then the reflexive means the for all x belongs to A, for all x belongs to A, x is related to itself, x. X is related to itself X. Meaning means, this meaning means R will contain the elements X cross X type. Okay. So a relation R is called reflexive relation on set A if A comma A belongs to R for all A belongs to capital A. So here in this A cross A, okay, for this set A, we have the relation R which contains elements A comma A, B comma B, and C comma C. Okay, then this relation is called reflexive relation. Okay, this set is called reflexive relation. Okay, so here like we have, this is a, if A is a B C, so R will contain A comma A, B comma B, and C comma C. Also, that's not necessary that only these elements are in a R. Okay, here R may be a, suppose R equal to, we take the A comma A comma B, B comma B, B comma A, C comma C. Then also this set is called reflexive relation on a set A. Okay, because here the three pairs A comma A, B comma B, and C comma C are inside A. So the condition is, for a reflexive relation, we have condition is, for all elements A belongs to capital A comma A belongs to R. Or you can say that A is related to A. Okay? Or you can say that A is related to A. Okay? Say here R1 is given. It contains the elements A comma A, B comma B, and B comma C. Okay, so this R1 does not contain C comma C. So here C comma C is not in R1. Therefore, R1 is a, the R1 is not reflexive relation on a set A. Okay, therefore R1 is not reflexive relation on set A, because here C comma C is not in a R1. Yes, so C is not related to itself. C. So therefore, here we have C comma R1 is not reflexive relation on a set A. We take some more example for a reflexive relation. Suppose the set Z is given, that is all integer set is given. Now for all integer set, the first we have given that X is related to Y if mode of X minus Y equal to even number. This is also written as, or we are given that X comma Y belongs to R if mode of X minus Y equal to even number. Okay. This way also the question will given in this form also. Okay. Now here to check the relation is a reflexive or not. See, this type of this in this chapter, whenever we want to prove that the relation is satisfy this condition, means relation is a reflexive or symmetric or antisymmetric or transitive. You have to prove uh, using arbitrary element. Okay, the general form of the element. But when you want to prove that it is not satisfy this condition, means relation is not reflexive, relation is not symmetric. Okay, in in this case, in all these cases, you have to use the counter example. You have to take the specific element and you have to show that for this element the condition is not satisfied. Okay, so here uh, for any integer, if we take the any integer x, if we take any integer x, then what is the value of mode of x minus x? For any integer of x, we have mode of x minus x is a 0. And what about the 0? 0 we take as a even number. Okay. So that means for all integer x, the mode of x minus x is a even number. That means x is related to x. Okay. This gives you x is related to x. So therefore, here R is a reflexive relation. Okay. Now check the second one. Similar way, check second one. It is a reflexive or not, and write answer in a check box. Check the second is a reflexive or not, and write the answer in a check box. Check it is a reflexive or not. So you have to check that for any arbitrary integer x, the x is related to itself. X is related to x. Swati, Jan, Rahul, Swati, Yogesh, युवराज ओहो आज युवराज स्टूडेंट हुआ है क्या बात है युवराज ज्वाइन हुआ yes it is a reflexive here for any integer x for any integer a into a we have a square and the square of any integer is always greater than equal to 0. So that means a square is greater than equal to 0. So a into a is greater than equal to 0. So a is related to a and therefore R is a reflexive relation. Okay. So R is a reflexive relation on Z. Now what about the third? X is related to Y if x into y less than 0. X is related to y if x into y is less than 0. It is not reflexive because we already see in a second the example that if we take a into a, we have a square. A square is always greater than equal to 0. Okay, so Here, if we want to prove it is not reflexive, then we can use the counter example. So here we use the counter example. We take 2. Now 2 into 2, we have 4, and 4 is greater than 0. So that means 2 is not related to 2. So therefore, R is not reflexive. Okay. So whenever you want to prove that the given relation is a reflexive, you have to use the arbitrary element. Okay. And if you want to prove that it is a not reflexive, you can use the counter example. That means you can use the specific element and prove that that element is not related to itself. So the relation is not reflexive. Okay. Now next we have symmetrical relation. The symmetric relation, the symmetric relation means if A is a if R is a relation on if R is a relation on a set A, and if A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A belongs to R. For A comma B belongs to A. Okay. So if R is a relation on a set A, and if one element is related to the second element, then second element is also related to the first element. That type of the relation is called reflexive relation. Okay. So if R is here, relation R is called symmetric relation on set A. If A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A belongs to R. In other words, in a symbolically, you can write that A is related to B, then B is related to A. Okay. If A is related to B, then B is related to A. Then we say that R is a symmetry. Okay. Now we take the one example here. See, here A is given a B, C. Here R is a, we have here A comma B. Here R is A comma B. So the reverse pair is B comma A. It is also in a R. And we have C comma C. The reverse pair of C comma C is again C comma C. So it is in a R. So all pair in R have a reverse pair also in R. This the reverse pair of all pair in R belongs to the R. Therefore, here R is called symmetric relation. Okay. But if we have this type of relation is given, that A comma B is there, B comma A is there, and B comma C is there. So here the reverse pair of A comma B is B comma A, it is in R, but reverse pair of B comma C, it is a C comma B, it is not in a R, R1. Okay, the reverse pair of B comma C, it is a C comma B, it is not belongs to R1, therefore R1 is not symmetric relation on set A. Okay, so R1 is not symmetric relation on set A. This then we have the example. First we take the one more relation, that anti-symmetric relation, and then we take the example of symmetric relation and anti-symmetric relation. The next we have the anti-symmetric relation. What is the anti-symmetric relation? So anti-symmetric relation means if we have the relation on a relation R on set A, then for A not equal to B, A belongs to B, AB belongs to A, either A related to B, A related to B, or B related to A. Okay. A related to B or B related to A. That means if we have in a set, we have two elements from the set A where both are different elements, which A is not equal to B, then if A is related to B, then B cannot be related to A. Means if we have A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A is not belongs to R. Okay. So if we have A comma B belongs to R, then B comma A is not belongs to R. Okay. See this example here. R will contain elements AD, AC, and BD. Here we have we have two pairs in which the two elements are not equal. That is A is not equal to B. The one is A comma B, second is A comma C. Now in A comma B, the reverse pair is B comma A. It is not in R. A comma C, the reverse pair C comma A. It is also not in R. Okay. Then third pair is B comma B. So there is two elements are equal. Okay. So A is not equal to B are not satisfied. So we are not checking for this element. Okay. We check only this condition for those elements in which the both order in order pair, the both elements are different. Okay. If both elements are equal, then the reverse pair is itself, so we are not checking for that order pair. Okay. So here we have the reverse pair of AB and AC are not in a R, therefore R is a anti-symmetric relation. Okay, here A is related to B, A is related to C, but B is not related to A and C is not related to A. So therefore, R is a symmetric relation. But if we take the same example, which is we take in a symmetric relation R1, we take the R1 same as in a symmetric relation, then here for order pair A comma B, the reverse order pair B comma A, it is in a set R1. So therefore, R1 is not anti-symmetric relation. Okay. Therefore, R1 is not anti-symmetric relation. Okay. Here R1 is neither a symmetric relation nor anti-symmetric relation. Okay. Now we take some examples on a symmetric relation and anti-symmetric relation. here if we take the x related to y, if mode of x minus y equal to even number, then in this one, if we have, suppose we take the two elements from A, x and y, and if we have the x is related to y, that means we have x minus mode of x minus y. Yes, we have mode of x minus y. It is a even number. Now we know that for the integers, mode of x minus y, it is equal to mode of y minus x for the integers. Okay, for integers, we have mode of x minus y. It is the same as mode of y minus x. Okay, because x minus y, it is equal to the minus y minus x. If we take the mode, then both become positive. So both have same value. Okay, so that means mode of x minus y is a even number. So mode of y minus x is also even number. So that means y is related to x. So this relation is a symmetric relation. Okay, because y is related to x. And here y is related to x. So this relation is not anti-symmetric relation. Okay, that means this relation is not anti-symmetric relation. But that doesn't mean that if relation is a symmetric, then it is not anti-symmetric. Okay. In a previous slide, we have checked that we have a relation R1 on A, which is neither symmetric nor anti-symmetric. Okay. So symmetric and anti-symmetric are not opposite relations. Okay. They are different type of relations. Now we take the second, x related to y if x is greater than equal to y. Now check this is a symmetric relation or not. And write the answer in a chat box. This is a symmetric relation or not. Check it is a symmetric relation or not and write answer in a chat box. It is not symmetric because if we have the here if x is greater than equal to y, okay, so here if x is related to y, then x is greater than equal to y, so y cannot be greater than x. Okay, y cannot greater than x, so we cannot write that y is greater than equal to x. Okay, so therefore y is not related to x, and therefore this relation is not symmetric relation. But if we take for anti-symmetric, then here y is not related to x. That means here if x is related to y, then y cannot be related to x. So it is a anti-symmetric relation. Okay, it is a anti-symmetric relation. Then for this one, we are given that A is a set of all males, R is a x comma y, such that x is a brother of y. So this is a relation on set A. Now it is a symmetric or not. So here, if x is a brother of y, then we can say that y is also brother of x. Okay? So x is brother of y, then y is brother of x. So x is related to y, then y is also related to x. Okay? Here, if x is a brother of y, then y is also brother of x. So x is related to y, then y is related to x. So R is a symmetry. But if your relation is given, x is the father of y, then the relation is given x is father of y, then here we have some possibility that uh, there is a here no possibility that y is the father of x. Okay, if x is the father of y, that means y cannot be father of x. Okay, so if x is related to y, then y cannot be related to x. This relation is a anti-symmetry. Now from this example, the many students have a confusion that the symmetric and anti-symmetric, this relations are opposite relation. Means uh, we can we cannot find such a relation that which is the relation is a symmetric or anti-symmetric both. So for the for this clarity, we take the one more example. Now in this example, you have to define the relation. You have to find the subset of A cross A, which is a first in a first, which is symmetric but not anti-symmetric. Then you have to find the subset of A cross A such such way that it is a anti-symmetric but not symmetric. Then a subset of A cross A, which is both symmetric and anti-symmetric, and one subset of A cross A, which is neither a symmetric nor anti-symmetric. So here A is given 1, 2, 3, and 4. So A has a 4 elements. That is A cross A has a 16 elements. A cross A has 16 elements. So first here for the first one, we require here R, which is a symmetric but not anti-symmetric. So we take the R equal to here. When we require the symmetric relation, here say we take the order pair and its reverse order pair both in a set. So 1 comma 2, okay, we take the 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, so 1 comma 2, reverse pair 2 comma 1 is in R, and 3 comma 3. So this relation is a symmetric relation. It is not anti-symmetric relation. Okay, because 1 comma 2 is there and 2 comma 1 is also there. It is not anti-symmetric relation. Now write the same type of one more relation on set A, which is uh, symmetric relation but not anti-symmetric relation. 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 4. Right? Other? You can take the 1, 4, 4, 1, only two elements. 1, 4 and 4, 1. Okay? No need that you have to take always two, three elements. Okay? You can take the two elements. You can take the four elements also. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. This is also a subset of A cross A. And it is a symmetric relation, not anti-symmetric. Okay? So these are the symmetric relation, not anti-symmetric relation. Now, when we require the anti-symmetric relation, then we are not considering the reverse order pair in a subset. So we take R is equal to 1, 2, then we eliminate the 2, 1 because we will require the anti-symmetric relation. So we replace the 2, 1 by 2, 4. Okay. So the reverse pair of 1, 2 is not in R. Reverse pair of 2, 4, it is also not in R. Okay. And in a 3, 3, both elements are same. So no need to check for 3, 3. So here R is a anti-symmetric. It is not symmetric relation. Okay. So here R is an anti-symmetric. It is not symmetric relation because 2, 1 and 4, 2. These two elements are in not in a R. So it is not it is not symmetric relation. Okay. Now third is we have symmetric and anti-symmetric both. See, in an anti-symmetric we check for only those order pairs in which we have both elements are different. So when we require the both symmetric and anti-symmetric both relation, then we take the order pair in which both elements are same. Yes. So here I am taking the 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3. This relation is a symmetric and anti-symmetric both. If you take the 1, 1, 4, 4, just two elements, 1, 1 and 4, 4, then it is also a symmetric and anti-symmetric relation on a set A. Okay. So you have a four element that 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4. So using this four elements, you can get the 2 raised to 4, 16 relation which are both symmetric and anti-symmetric. यहाँ पे ये क्वेश्चन भी एमसीक्यू में आ सकता है that if A is equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4, then how many different relations are there which are symmetric and anti-symmetric both? How many different relations are there which are both symmetric and anti-symmetric? Then you have your four order pair in which two elements are equal. So subset of that set is R 2 raised to 4. So you have a 16 relation which are both symmetric and anti-symmetric. Okay. And the last one, in last one, we take one order pair and its reverse order pair, and we take the one order pair without taking its reverse order pair. So here we take 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1. We have taken the one reverse pair here. So that means this relation is not anti-symmetric. And we have a 3 comma 4. So the reverse order pair 3 comma 4 is a 4 comma 3. It is not in R. Therefore, it is not symmetric relation also. So this relation is neither symmetric nor anti-symmetric. Okay. So this way you can find the symmetric and anti-symmetric relation. Now the next we have the fourth relation. It is a transitive relation. So transitive relation means if we have the three elements from a set A and the first element is a related to the second element is related to the third element, then first element is also related to third element. Okay. So here if we have A is related to B, B is related to A, then B is related to C, not A, then A is related to C. Okay. So relation R is called transitive relation on set A. If A comma B and B comma C is belongs to R, then A comma C is also belongs to R. Okay. If we have the first element related to second element related to the third element, then first element must be related to the third element. Okay. So here we have our example is R equal to A comma B, B comma A comma C, and B comma C. So here see, we have A comma B and B comma A, then A comma is there. A comma B and B comma C, then A comma C is also there. Okay. We have A comma A, then A comma C, so A comma C is there. A comma A and A comma B, then B comma then A comma B is also there. Okay. So this relation is called transitive relation. Here see in R1, A comma B is there, B comma C is there, but A comma C is not in R1. The A comma C is not R1, it is not inside of the R1. Therefore, we have here R1 is not transitive relation on set A. Okay. Now we take some examples for the transitive relation and then we go for the equivalence relation. Okay. So again for set of all integers, we take for the same, the first one, that x is related to y if mode of x minus y equal to even number. If mode of x minus y equal to even number, then x is related to y. Now here we take the three elements A, B and C, such that A is related to B and B is related to C. Now A related to B and B related to C. So we have A minus B is a even number, B minus C is also even number. Okay. Now mode of A minus C, it is equal to, here if we add the B and subtract the B, then we subtract first B, then we add B, minus we write C. Okay. So we are not changing the value of A minus C. We just subtract B and we add B. Okay. Now here this equal to, we can write A minus B plus B minus C. Okay, we can write this one because of the all are integer. If these are the vectors, then if we have these are vectors, then we cannot write equal, then we have to write here less than equal to. Okay, by the triangular inequality. The triangular inequality, we have this is a less than equal to. Or it is a complex number, then also we have here less than equal to. Okay, using the same property, triangular inequality. Okay, so here we have mode of A minus C, it is equal to mode of A minus B plus mode of B minus C. Both are even numbers, so addition of the even number is also even number. So that means A is related to C, so R is a transitive relation on integer set. Yes. Next, second we have x is related to y if x is greater than equal to y. Now check it is a transitive or not. Check it is a transitive or not. Write answer in a chat box. Check it is a transitive or not. Here here if we have three elements x, y, z. If x is related to y, y is related to z, that means we have x is greater than equal to y and y is greater than equal to z. Okay, there I am taking the integers a, b, c. So if a is related to b and b is related to c, that means a is greater than equal to b and b is greater than equal to c. So for the integers here, if we A is greater than B and B is greater than C, that means A is greater than equal to C. Like we take the 5, 3 and 1. Then 5 is greater than equal to 3. 3 is greater than equal to 1. That means 5 is greater than equal to 1. Okay. So that is A is related to C. Yeah, sorry. not B. A is related to C. So that means A related to C. So we have R is a transitive relation on Z. Okay. Now check for this one. This is a transitive or not? Check this is a transitive or not. अंजलि ऐसे चिंतन विवेक हृदय श्रीकांत संगत केविन मिलन मिलेश रक्षी यम राहुल स्वाति योगी युवराज ना वखाण કર્યા તો યુવરાજ થઈ ગયો यार वखाण કર્યા તો डिस्कनेक्ट થઈ ગયા હતા यार एक्स ये ट्रांजिटिव कहाँ से होगा x into y less than 0. See here, if I want to prove that it is just for knowledge, see when we have x into y is a negative number, x into y is a negative number only if you have both have different signs. मतलब one is a positive and second one is a negative. Okay, so if first one is related to second, then this two has the opposite sign. The second is related to third, that means second equal to 0. So this is not, to prove it is not transitive, we can use the counter example here. So I am taking here counter example. Let's say minus 3 into 2. Minus 3 into 2, we get minus 6. Similar way, 2 into minus 4, we have minus 8. So minus 3 is related to 2 and 2 is related to minus 4. Now minus 3 into minus 4, we get 12. It is greater than 0. So minus 3 is not related to minus 4. So therefore, the given relation is not transitive relation. Okay. In place of less than 0, if we have greater than equal to 0, then it will be a transitive relation. Okay. Now, next we have equivalence relation. So, equivalence relation means if R is a relation on a set A and if R is a reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then the R is called equivalence relation. Okay. So for equivalence relation, if all three conditions are satisfied, then that relation is called equivalence relation. Which are conditions? That suppose R is relation on A, then Then we have the three conditions. First, for the reflexive we have the condition is for all x belongs to A, x is related to x. This is our first condition for the reflexive. The second condition, R must be a symmetric. So for symmetric, we have the condition is for A comma B. Sorry, we are talking about in terms of x, y. Here we take for x comma y belongs to A if x is related to y, then y is related to x. This is second condition. The third condition is for x, y, z belongs to A if x related to y, y related to z, then x is related to z. So these three conditions are satisfied, then R is called equivalence relation. First condition for reflexive, second condition for symmetric, third condition for transitive. Okay. Here we take the one example. See, if we have A is A, B, C, here, see, we have R is given A comma B, B comma A, okay, A comma A, then A comma C. Now, we check the first condition that for all x belongs to A, x is related to x or not. So here we have three elements in A, B, and C. So here see, A comma A is in R, B comma B in R, and C comma C is also in R. So the first condition is satisfied. If first condition satisfied, that means R is a reflexive relation. Now we check the second condition. So for second condition, here see, here for A comma B, we have B comma A in R. Okay. Then A comma A, then A comma A is in R. A comma C, then we have for this, here we have C comma A is in R. B comma C, we have C comma B is also in R. B comma B, then reverse is a B comma B. C comma C, then reverse is a C comma C. Or if if x is related to y, then y is related to x. So the second condition is also satisfied. Yes, second condition is also satisfied. So therefore, R is a symmetric relation. Okay. Now, third, if x is related to y, y is related to x, then x is related to z. So you see, A related to B, okay, B related to C, then we have A related to C. Then B related to A, then A related to B, we have B related to B in A. Okay. Similar way, A related to C, C related to B, then B related, A related to B is also there. So for any X, Y, Z, if X is related to Y is related to Z, then X is related to Z in R. So the third condition is also satisfied. Therefore, R is a transitive relation. So here R is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Therefore, R is a equivalent relation. Okay. So this way we check the given relation is a equivalent or not. Now we take some more examples. Now see this example we have already taken all three relations, the reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. We just uh, go through quickly here that here for any integer a we have mode of a minus a is 0. So therefore it is a even number, so a is related to a, therefore R is a reflexive. If we take the two elements a, b, and if a is related to b, then a minus b is a even number. So that means mode of b minus a is also even number. So we have b is related to a, so R is a symmetric relation. Then for three elements A, B, C, we have if A is related to B, B is related to C, then mode of A minus B is a even number and mode of B minus C is also even number. So mode of A minus C is a mode of A minus B plus mode of B minus C. So both are even numbers, so addition is also even number. So that means A minus C, mode of A minus C is even number. So R is a transitive and therefore R is a equivalent relation. Okay. We already done this example in all three relations. So that's how we covered quickly that example. Now second is a X is related to Y if X into Y is greater than equal to 0. So here also this is a reflexive. We know we already checked in a previous slide that here for any integer x we have x square is a always greater than equal to 0. So x is related to x itself. Therefore, R is a symmetric relation. Sorry, R is a reflexive relation. Then for any two integers x and y, if x is related to y, then x into y is greater than equal to 0. Okay. Now x into y is greater than equal to 0. So y into x is also greater than equal to 0. We know in a multiplication, x into y it is equal to y into x. Okay. 2 into 3 equal to 3 into 2. Or you can say that 72 into 75 is equal to 75 into 72. In multiplication, x into y is equal to y into x. So we have here y to x is also greater than equal to 0. So that means y is related to x and that is a R is a symmetric relation on Z. Now, if we take the three elements x, y, z and x is related to y and y is related to z, then x is greater than x into y is greater than equal to 0. Y into z is greater than equal to 0. Okay. So x into y is greater than equal to 0 means x into y is greater than equal to 0. That means x and y both have same sign. Either both are positive or both are negative. Okay. Similar way, y into z, is greater than equal to 0, that means y and z both are positive or both are negative. So both have same sign. So x and y have a same sign, y and z have a same sign. So that give you x and z have a same sign. So either x and z are both are negative or both are positive. So that means x into z is always greater than equal to 0. Okay. So x into z is a greater than equal to 0. So that means x is a related to z. So therefore, R is a transitive relation and therefore R is a equivalence relation on z. Okay. Now do this example. Check it is a equivalence relation or not. Check this is a equivalence relation or not.